Am I audible? Okay. Ask everyone to join the class. Hmm. Okay, we can start our class. Only 15 students join. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if it is visible or not. Okay. Hmm? नहीं,
In this video, we'll try to understand.
Kilitoli, mute yourself. Okay. So audio video is okay? Is audio video okay?
How to draw shear force and bending moment diagram in case of simply supported beam carrying uniformly distributed load throughout the span and
Am I
a point
audible?
load as shown over here. Now the total span length
Okay.
is in
So
case of simply
in
supported
this
beam
next
carrying
problem, we'll
uniformly
discuss your
distributed load.
simply supported beam, but with two different loads. One will be UDL and another will be point load. Okay, this point load is acting at a distance of 4 meter from A and at a distance of 2 meter from B, and this UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter is acting over the whole span. Okay, this 1.5 kilonewton per meter is acting over the whole span, and 2 kilometer is acting at point C, which is at a distance of 4 meter and 2 meter, and the whole span of the beam is 6 meter. So let's see how to solve this type of problem when you have two loads and with simply supported beam. Okay, you may be a question may come like you have been given a cantilever beam and there will be two load of UDL plus point load. So we'll solve that also, but plus let's start with simple support conditions. Okay, so let's continue. Students join. Okay, perfect. 23 students. So let's continue. Okay.
Distributed load throughout the span and a point load as shown over here. Now the total span length is L is equal to 6 meter and a point load of 2 kilonewton is acting at a distance of 4 meter from the left hand support, and there is a UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter acting over the entire span length. Now First, we'll convert this uniformly distributed load into a point load. Now, the meaning of 1.5 kilonewton per meter is for 1 meter length, the load that is acting is 1.5 kilonewton. Now, this total length on which this UDL is acting is 6 meter. So, as it is acting on the entire length, we can say that if for 1 meter length the load is 1.5 kilonewton, then for 6 meter length it will be 1.5 into 6, that is 9 kilonewton. And as it is a rectangular distribution, that particular 9 kilonewton load will act at the center. So first we'll convert that uniformly distributed load into a point load of 9 kilonewton acting at a distance of 3 meter, that is half of this particular 6 meter length, that is 3 meter as shown over here. So now we'll find out these reactions Ra and Rb. The first condition of equilibrium is summation of forces in y direction is equal to 0. Upward forces, they are considered as positive, and downward forces, they are considered as negative. So Ra and Rb, they are acting in the upward direction, so they are positive. This 9 kilonewton and this 2 kilonewton load, they are acting in the downward direction, so they are negative. So it is Ra plus Rb is equal to 11 kilonewton. Now we'll take summation of moments is equal to 0, clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative. Now we'll take moment up.
So see, in this type of problem, what you can do while calculating the support reactions, you can convert the UDL into point load for your to make question easy, or you can say you can do this way also. You can you can convert this UDL into a point load. It's up to you. Okay, it looks easy, but yeah, you can do this way also. So what we have done, our load was, see, the load was 1.5 kilonewton. Okay, so if you multiply with 6, it will convert it into 9 kilonewton, right? And it will see, 1.5 kilonewton per meter. Okay, so if I need to convert this load into point load, what I have to do? 1.5 per meter. That means this UDL is acting over the whole span. So convert this 6 kilo, multiply with 6, you'll get a point load. Okay, now where you have to place the point load? As at the midpoint. Okay, you have to place, the whole span was 6 meter, then you have to place the load over the mid span will be 3 meter, right? So you have to replace this UDL with a point load. How you will replace? You will multiply the load with the whole span of this, because this is acting over the whole span. Suppose if this load was acting till C, suppose you have been given a condition where this load was acting till 3 meter or 4 meter. Okay, suppose this is your whole beam and this UDL was acting till 4 meter. So you just have to multiply 1.5 with 4. You will get a point load. Okay, now you have to place at 2 meter at the mid span. So you are replacing this UDL with a point load, and you have to place that point load at the mid span of till mid span of what? Mid span till where your UDL is given. Any issue with this part? Any doubts? Any issue? Any doubts from this part? How they have converted this UDL with the point load? Okay, no issues. Okay, fine. So they have converted the UDL with point load to find out the support reactions. Okay, so let's see.
At a distance of 3 meter, that is half of this particular 6 meter length, that is 3 meter as shown over here. So now we'll find out these reactions Ra and Rb. The first condition of equilibrium is summation of forces in y direction is equal to 0. Upward forces, they are considered as positive, and
so after converting the UDL to point load, this procedure is same. The same. Now this beam has converted into simply supported beam with 2 point loads, and you have to find the same way your support reactions. But when you when we'll move to next step, that is to find out the shear force and bending moment, you cannot take this point load anymore. Okay, you have to take the UDL. We are taking this point load for the simplification till we have to till the first step. Okay, finding of this support reactions.
Downward forces, they are considered as negative. So RA and RB, they are acting in the upward direction, so they are positive. This 9 kilonewton and this 2 kilonewton load, they are acting in the downward direction, so they are negative. So it is RA plus RB is equal to 11 kilonewton. Now we'll take summation of moments is equal to 0, clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative. Now we'll take moment about this point A. So this RB, the arrow of this RB will go in the anti-clockwise direction towards A. So as it is anti-clockwise, it is negative, and from B up to A, the perpendicular distance is 6. So it is minus RB into 6. This 2 kilonewton, the arrow of this 2 kilonewton is going in the clockwise direction towards A. So it is 2 into 4. Then this 9 kilonewton, it is also producing clockwise moment, and the perpendicular distance from this point up to A is 3. So it is 9 into 3 is equal to 0. Now transfer this negative term, that is minus RB into 6 on the other side, so it will become 6 RB. Then 2 into 4, that is 8, plus 9 into 3, that is 27. So total will be 35. So we can say that RB is equal to 35 divided by 6, that is 5.833 kilonewton. Now substitute this value of RB in equation 1. So from equation 1 we can say that RA is nothing but 11 minus RB. So it is 11 minus 5.8333. So it is 5.167 kilonewton. So these are the values of RA and RB. Now we have to draw the shear force diagram. So conventions which we have used for simply supported beam, upward forces, they are considered as positive, whereas downward forces, they are considered as negative. Now we'll start from the left hand support, that is A. So shear force at A is equal to 5.167 kilonewton acting in the upward direction, so it is positive. Now shear force at C left means we are not considering this 2 kilonewton load, we are considering all the other forces which are acting on the left hand side of C. So we'll start with RA, that is 5.167 positive because it is acting in the upward direction, and the UDL from A up to just left of C, that is 1.5 into 4, that is 6. So that will be minus 0.833 kilonewton. Then shear force exactly at point C will be to this minus 0.833. This 2 kilonewton which is acting in the downward direction will get added. So it is minus 2.8333 kilonewton. Similarly, shear force at left of the B, we have to take into consideration only this particular UDL which is acting between C and B. So it is 1.5 into 2, that will get added to this previous calculated value of minus 2.8333 kilonewton. So it is minus 5.8333 kilonewton. Exactly at B, this point load or reaction up which is acting in the upward direction, that will get added. So it is minus 5.833 plus 5.8333 kilonewton, that is 0 kilonewton. So using these values we can draw the shear force diagram. So shear force at A, shear force at C left, exactly at C, then B left, and then at B. And the various values, they are also shown over here. Now this shear force diagram, it changes the sign from positive to negative at this section, and we have to find out this is the point of zero shear where the bending moment will be maximum. So that point we have to find out. So we'll consider only that particular section. Suppose it is acting at a distance of x from the left hand support A as shown over here. So we have to find out now the point of zero shear. So we'll consider all the forces which are acting on the left hand side of this particular section. So RA is acting in the upward direction, that is 5.167. Then UDL is acting, UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter is acting for x meter length. So it is 1.5 into x. But the shear force at this particular section is 0. So equate this particular left hand side equal to 0. Transfer this negative 1.5 x term on the left hand side, so it will become positive, and x will be equal to 5.167 divided by 1.5, that is 3.444 meter from A. Now at this particular section we'll find out the maximum bending moment also. So first we'll convert this UDL into point load, so 1.5 into x, and it will be acting at the center of x, that is x by 2, so that we can take moment.
So same, after finding out the support reactions, see, after finding they have used three equilibrium equations from summation of, see, there is no horizontal force, that's why we are not taking that condition. So they have taken summation of all the vertical forces, summation of moment about a point equals to 0. So by this, the same process, they have found out Ra and Rb. So that the first part is over. So the next step will be to find out the shear force. I'm taking upward as positive, downward as negative. Same. Now at A, there is only one force, this Ra. So shear force at A will be the Ra value itself. Okay. Next, C. Between A to C, I have my this load Ra plus I have this UDL also, right? So if you take a section between A and C, or you can say left of C, you can take, you take a section, if you want to know what is the shear force in this part, so I have two forces. One is this Ra and another is this UDL. So what will be my equation? My equation will be this one. How? I have this Ra, this is the Ra, which is 5.16 minus, this is an upward direction, right? Now this UDL is acting in the downward direction, so 1.5 into, I have multiplied 1.5 with 4, I got 6, so minus 6. Understood? This is in downward direction, and this I cannot take one. I cannot write 1.5 because this is in kilonewton per meter. I have to convert convert this unit into kilonewton. So I have multiplied with the distance 4 meter. So meter will cancel. My load will become in terms of kilonewton. Got it? So Ra minus 6. I have got shear force at this part. Okay, if I take shear force at C, so I'll have three forces, Ra, this UDL plus 2 kilonewton. So in the next step, if you see, this is my Ra. They have simply took this value, but you go with the procedure. You take Ra minus 1.5 into 4 minus, this is then downward direction, so minus 2. So this is my new value, that is shear force at C. Next, when I need to find the shear force between C and B, suppose I'm taking a section here, so I'm having four loads, Ra, this UDL, this point load, again this UDL. That means between B and L. Okay, so what between let me explain this one. Suppose I want to find out the shear force at this section. Okay, so I have one load which is 5.167. Okay, this is in upward direction, so upward, minus 1.5 into 4, which is 6, downward direction, again minus this 2, right, again minus 1.5 into 2, which is 3. So if you solve this, you will get this one only. Understood? Have you understood this one? Please respond, then I'll move forward, because I won't take this class again and again. Have you understood how you got this value 5.833? Only 2 students are replying. What about others? Huh? Okay. Okay. So that's how they have found out shear force at BL. That means left of B. When you take a shear force at B, it will be this, all the four forces along with this B. Okay, so the 0. So place this value in a diagram format. You will get a shear force diagram as this way. Okay, try in your home. Try by yourself. Okay, taking different value, same problem, same kind of problem, by taking different values. Okay. Now, if I need to find out if in question it is asked where your shear force is 0, at what distance your shear force, if you draw it graphically, you can say that at what distance it will be 0. But if it asks you at what position your shear force will be 0, take a section. You have two sections between A to C and C to B. It's up to you. Take one section. Suppose I'm taking a section XXX at a distance of X meter. Okay. Write the shear force equation. Place these equations equals to 0. RA 1.5167 minus this UDL into X. I have taken a section, so this UDL is acting at a distance for X, so minus 1.5 X. Now equate this equation equals to 0. Suppose I need to find out 0 shear force. So I'll equate this equation equals to 0. I'll find out the X value as 3.444 meter from A. That means my shear force is 0 from A position. Okay, at a distance of X meter. Okay, okay. So
bending moment also. So first we'll convert this UDL into point load. So 1.5 into X, and it will be acting at the center of X, that is X by 2. So that we can take moment about this section XX, which is maximum bending moment. The conventions used, they are clockwise positive and anti-clockwise negative for the bending moment. So consider all the forces on the left hand side of XX. So RA, which is acting in the upward direction, so it will produce clockwise moment about this XX. So it is 5.167 into X. Now this 1.5 into X, this will produce anti-clockwise moment about XX. So 1.5 into X, and the perpendicular distance is X by 2. So that also we have written over here. Now substitute the value of X. X is nothing but 3.4444. So that value you can substitute over here. This X into X is X square. So substituting the value of X at these places, we will get the bending moment at section XX as 8.899 kilonewton meter, and this will be the maximum bending moment over here. Now using these values, we can easily draw the bending moment diagram. So first we'll convert this UDL of 1.5 kilonewton per meter between A and C. The distance is 4, so 1.5 into 4, so that will be the 6 kilonewton load acting at a center of 4 meter, that is 2 meter. Section XX, where the bending moment we have already calculated. So now we'll start with the remaining bending moments. So bending moment at the ends, they are 0. So bending moment at A will be 0. Similarly, bending moment at B will also be 0. So first we'll calculate bending moment at point C. XX we have already calculated, so it is 8.899. Then after this section XS, the point is C. So we'll calculate bending moment at this particular point C. So consider all the forces on the left hand side of C. Except this particular 2 kilonewton, it will not have any moment about C. So RA, upward acting reaction RA will produce clockwise moment. So arrow of this RA will go in the clockwise direction about C. So it is, and the perpendicular distance is 4 meter between A and C. So it is 5.167 into 4. Then this point load, the UDL which we have converted into point load, that is 6 kilonewton, will produce anti-clockwise moment about C, and the perpendicular distance is 2. So the bending moment at C comes out to be 8.668 kilonewton meter. Then bending moment at point B will be 0. So using these values, we can easily draw the bending moment diagram. So as you can see over here, the bending moment at the section XX is maximum of 8.899 kilonewton meter. Then at C it is 8.668, and at the ends it is 0. So the beam will get bent in this particular fashion, that is indicated by this bending moment diagram. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, we will try to understand how to draw shear force and bending moment diagram in case of beam bending.
So have you understood the bending moment part? There is the bending. Okay. The same way they have found out the bending moment part also. So they have taken a two section between one section between A and C, x x x. Okay. So they have found out your bending moment at section A x x. Let me draw once. They have taken a section x x. Okay. Suppose during bending moment, suppose you have a beam A, you have a point load, suppose forget about this beam, okay, I'm just telling you this beam C. Suppose you have a this UDL, at the end you have B, and you have here D. So what you do, take a section, find a bending moment at this section, finding bending moment uh, at this section between A and C, C and D, and D and B. Okay, so you take three section, find out the bending moment at three section. That will give you this will give you bending moment between A and C. This will give you bending moment between C and D, and this will give you bending moment in D and B. Okay, understood? So in this problem you have two sections, A and C and C and B. Okay, so take a bending moment between A and C. So for A and C, you take a section XX, which is at a distance of x meter. Okay, so I need to find out the bending moment at this position. So RA into x, 5.167 into x minus this UDL into, for UDL moment is, we know force, force into movement, right? So I have to first convert this force 1.5 into x. So this load, this force will be 1.5 into x. Okay, sorry, this will be distance, this will be distance. So 1.5 into x, the whole force. Now distance will be x by 2. Okay, x by 2. Understood this part? How this 1.5 into x square, x into x by 2 came? Have you understood, or should I discuss again? Please respond. Okay, I'll discuss once again. Okay, whenever you need to find bending moment, you understood now. Whenever you need to find bending moment, you have to take the sections between points. So we had two sections between A and C and C and B. So what we have to do? We need to find bending moment between A and C by taking a section, and again bending moment between C and B by taking a section. So let's start with A and C part. I'm taking a section of XX, which is at a distance of x meter. Okay, I'm taking a section of XX at a distance of x meter. So for this part, what will be your bending moment equations? We know for moment we have force into distance, right? So for this force, UDL, how to convert this UDL into force? 1.5 into x. So this RA into x. So 1.5 into x. Now what will be the distance? As you know, for the UDL case, during finding out the moment, what we take? We take half of the distance, right? So it will be x by 2. Well, suppose I am giving a beam only UDL. What will be the movement about a point? It will be load. what is, suppose it has 3 kilonewton, 3 kilonewton per meter, okay, and the distance is x. So what will be the UDL? 3 into x into half of this distance, x by 2. Understood? The same way, 1.5 into x into half of the distance, x by 2. Understood? So from A to C, this is your bending moment equation. Again, again from this equation, if you take this from C to B, from C to B, your equations will be this one. The same value, 1 RA into the distance. After solving, you will get this one. Okay. So in this equation also, you can find out where your bending moment is 0. Okay. So bending moment at A, this will be 0. Bending moment at XX will be this one. Bending moment at C will be this one, and bending moment at B will be your 0. So from these values, you can draw a bending moment diagram of this way. Okay. So practice by yourself and go through this video. You will understand. I'm stop sharing my screen. Okay, everyone write your roll numbers, okay, in the chat box. That's about today's class. Don't leave the class, write your roll numbers. Hope everyone wrote their roll number. Anyone left? Last row is 27. Anyone left? Okay, thank you. Let's please try by yourself. Okay, the same kind of problem try to solve by yourself. If you are able to solve, then change the value and solve. Okay. Okay. Thank you.